right, I'm here with Jason Eaton from Exotic Jungle, and we are going to be looking at some Rainbow Boas, something that I don't have. Might have to get into. You've got some crazy stuff here.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's
Talk
a lot
to
of
me,
fun.
Jay, about what you got.
Yeah, this is a Darren Bell Hypo Brazilian Rainbow Boa.
Okay.
They're more of like a pastel look
I was
than
going
what
to say,
a.
they don't look typical. Like.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, the Brazilian look you can see underneath the light with all the iridescent look, why they call them the rainbow.
Beautiful.
Very popular in the community. There's different morphs that are coming out. There's albinos,
Sure.
T positives,
We're
T
gonna look at
negatives.
all that in a second, yeah.
So there's a lot. You know, so a lot of people are really getting into them.
You know, some people have these things get a bad rap for being nasty.
They can
and
be when they're
biters.
smaller.
Well, I mean, this one doesn't seem like it's nasty at all.
Yeah, a lot of them outgrow it. Some of them do, some of them don't.
Right. Do you think it's because now that they're more domestically bred and they're captive born, or is that just part of their personality?
It's just part of the personality.
Yeah.
When they're born, you know, they're right out of the mom. You're trying to grab them, and they're striking everywhere.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but you know what? My carpet pythons do the same thing, but they
thing.
calm down and then they don't bite at all.
Same with the rainbow. Same with the rainbows.
No, what's the deal with humidity with these things? A lot of people are intimidated to have these because they feel like they can't keep the humidity.
Right,
proper.
and you don't need to get crazy. So just using like cypress mulch on the bottom with a heating pad, that's going to create your humidity 50, 60%, which is enough. You know,
Really?
you don't want to get too much. You don't want to go too crazy because they can get over humidity, and then they'll start getting water blisters, and then that's another problem.
Yeah. So some people then go too crazy and you're saying, and
absolutely,
then they make it too humid.
absolutely, yeah.
So what's the perfect humidity level? 60%?
At least 60%.
At least
Yes,
60%.
when they're smaller. When they're older, you don't even need to go as high.
Oh, really? So
Correct.
it doesn't become as important. Now, I
Correct.
also hear these horror stories like if they don't have water for one day, they'll die.
Yeah, no, that's not true
That's
out
not
there.
true? Okay.
No, I mean, with any snake, you always make sure you have the water.
Of course.
But no, if they don't have water, they're not going to die in a day.
Okay. Oops, you got me.
There
You
you
got
go.
me. See,
There you
Pablo,
go.
you're not paying attention. You just got me.
And that's the extent.
It didn't hurt. Okay.
That's the
All right,
extent.
so now I love morphs. I know you probably like morphs.
I do.
Show me the albinos and the hypo.
Yeah,
albinos.
so
You got some
these
really cool
these
stuff.
are Brazilians. So there's difference. You got Brazilians, you got
Make
Colombians.
Make the distinction.
So this is a Brazilian.
Okay.
All right, and then you know, just like how that's a Brazilian, these are Colombians.
Right.
So this is a leucistic Colombian Rainbow Boa. So these are going to be all white.
Right. Black eyes, right?
No, well, I do have
they
both
blue
of those.
eyes or black eyes?
There's both. So that's a blue-eyed leucistic, and this is
Okay.
the black-eyed leucistic.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, and that came from the same litter.
It did.
Yeah.
So
and then we'll have them a lot of times too, where you have one blue eye, one black eye.
Oh wow.
That's pretty neat.
Odd-eyed.
Pretty-
as they
yeah,
say in
pretty
the,
neat.
The cat breeding industry. Yeah, these are
Yeah,
really,
pretty
really
neat.
nice. Now, what is the care for these versus the?
The exact same thing. It's just what's nice with the Colombians is they don't get as large.
Okay.
You know, adult female Colombians are going to get 4 foot. You know, on Brazilian 6 foot.
Wow.
Males 3 foot on a Colombian, 5 foot on a Brazilian.
These
So
are
they stay a lot
nice.
smaller.
These are beautiful. And now show me, what are the ones down there? The
Yeah,
albino ones?
those are Colombians as well.
Okay.
They do have albino Brazilians. You know, T-negative albino Brazilians are 20 grand.
Oh, so
right
they're
now.
still very expensive.
They're
All
still
right.
very expensive,
Now,
yeah.
Now what, aside from size, do they look pretty much the same?
The Colombians and Brazilians, no,
Yes.
totally different.
Okay, so
Yeah,
what
way
is the
different.
distinguishing factors that you would look for to be able to tell them apart?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, a lot of people when they see a rainbow boa, the first thing they think of is a Brazilian. They don't
Right.
realize that there are different Colombians,
Sure.
Brazilians, you know, Nicaraguans. There's all different types.
Right.
But as far as like what you're looking for, one, you're going to see the price. You know, I mean, a price on an albino is definitely going to be a lot higher. But they do have the pattern that's on them. The Colombians tend to fade as they get older, where Brazilians don't.
Oh, okay.
That's a huge difference
that's a
here.
selling point.
But I mean, as a baby, I mean, that's about as pretty as they come.
Yeah. Now, what would a typical Colombian albino cost?
That's what this is.
Yeah. No. What would it be? What would
Yeah,
the cost
I've
be?
got these for $550.
Oh, okay, so that's reasonable. Where you're saying that the Brazilian albinos are.
Yeah, so there's
Crazy.
T positives and T negatives. The T positives are still a couple grand.
Right.
The T negatives I think are like 20 grand right now.
Are you working with those at all?
Those I'm not. No, I'm doing like Anery Brazilians. I'm not doing anything with the albinos.
Gotcha. I like the enters. I think they look.
Oh,
kind
for
of,
sure.
They're really offbeat.
That
looking,
black
yeah.
and gray,
Yeah,
black
yeah,
and
yeah.
silver for sure.
If
Yep.
someone was trying to get into these, what recommendation would you have in terms of like setups for these guys? Go.
Yeah, I mean, you start with a small setup. You know, you never want to put a small snake into a big enclosure.
Sure.
That stresses them out. You know, little guy in a big world. So this guy here, start him off in a 10-gallon tank. A lot of people just start him off in a rack system. But again, just use use some Zoom Edge cypress mulch, the forest floor for the bottom. That's already comes wet, and under tank heating pad. There's your humidity,
And that's
that's
that
it.
easy.
It's that. Yeah, I mean, all of our breeders are in the rack systems.
And what
So-
are you feeding these guys?
Right now, these are feeding on fuzzy mice. They'll take live or frozen thawed, and then of course, when they're adults, we're going to take small rats, medium rats, depending
That's
on their
awesome.
size.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
for sure.
Now I saw you had a couple of green tree pythons down
I
there.
do.
Dan.
Yep.
Let's
Yeah,
take a
those
look
are
at
definitely one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, let's take a look at those.
These
are the Arus.
Yeah, these are Aru Sarong crosses.
Right.
These are captive bred. We bred them here.
Oh, awesome.
So what's nice with these guys is they're so friendly. Even my adults, you could reach right in and grab the adults.
look at that.
There's nothing better than a baby green tree.
Yeah, these are awesome. Look at this. Now, have you noticed you got more yellows versus red neonates?
So the red neonates would normally come from like Beox or for some of the others, so many different localities.
Right.
The Arus and the Sarongs, you're going to see more yellow babies than you would red.
Right.
So yellow is definitely the more common color as babies.
Are these guys eaten?
Yeah, 3 times.
Really?
Yeah, they're about 5 weeks old now.
Have you had trouble in the past with these guys?
I mean, I've been breeding them for a while, so there's little tricks that you got to get with them. You know, they're very tail sensitive. It's really neat. They're at the size now where they'll sit there and they'll wiggle their tail looking for food. So that's always really cool to see. But yeah, no, it's a lot of time. You know, it's one of those things where you may spend a half hour, 40 minutes with one baby.
Oh, really?
Because, you know, they'll strike, but if any movement, they'll drop. So you got to pick it up, try it again. So you may spend half hour, 40 minutes with each baby, and then when you have 12, 13 of them,
that's
a lot.
Time. So if you guys want to breed these things, understand, and that's why they're expensive too, because
there's a lot of work to go.
There's a lot of work that goes into these things.
Sure.
And you know, it seems like captive bred green tree pythons are really, really popular. Now.
It's
almost like you can't have enough of them.
Really, no. I mean, I'm sad. So this clutch was 13. I've only got 6 left. I'm like sad that I've sold that many.
Awesome,
you know.
Yeah, you're killing it, man. You're doing great.
No, they're awesome.
Thanks you so much, Jay, for the information.
Yeah,
Guys,
absolutely.
if you want to check out some Colombian or Brazilian rainbow boas or some really cool captive born and hatched green tree pythons, check it out. Check out their website. What is your Instagram and website?
Exotic Jungle or Jay Eaton, either one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.